All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Ismortah, and this is episode 46 of my custom Kingdom Death Monster campaign. And this is Lantern Year, I believe, 14, and this is the Showdown phase with a level 2 Screaming Antelope. I've done Screaming Antelopes before, never a level 2. I kind of knew what was going into it, but we'll see how it pans out. Hopefully I'm prepared enough. Get those fat loots. So I already have the Showdown set up and everything. Now we just gotta jump into it, kill us some Antelope. See how it goes. So again, like I talked about last time, the general strategy that I'm thinking about doing for this fight is really to have 2 main DPS and 2 tanks. Obviously, if everyone gets in range, they could, of course, try to do damage. But if they have ability to do a special utility or make sure that they're the person that gets targeted next to damage and someone else doesn't get attacked, obviously that'll come to play as well. But the cat person, I want to do the most damage just because they can do so many attacks, so many dice per attack, and high chance to crit to carve resources, because the whole reason I'm doing this is for resources. 100% of the reason. And then the other person I want to swing in is the person with the hammer, because not only do they have a lot of attacks in addition, even though they don't attack as effectively, the fact that if I get that natural lantern, I can get that daze to make sure I have it so the monster has 1 less attack speed, because I see has +1 attack speed. 3 out of 4 people though also have extra sense, so I can dodge twice, but I can only do that a certain number of times because you only have X amount of survival. So I need to make sure I hit as hard as I can with everybody. Now the other 2, everyone has 8 survival. Everyone's got full set of gear of different types, but the one with the rawhide has regenerative survival, 50% chance when it spends survival to get it back, which is great. And then it has boss Mindy to increase the speed of everybody. So the whole plan is to get this person close or adjacent to the monster. That way I can shoot adjacently with the bow and then give people who are orthogonal the boss Mindy. Chiefly these 2. And then the other person who can attack diagonally is the person with the spear, who can also run around and do screaming horns to buff people, as well as bandages and harp as needed. And then if I find that there's, for some reason, a problem hitting the monster, I can have the person with the cat gear actually do the white line helm, because I have the appropriate stats for that. Or do I? Actually, I don't. Oh, that's right. Because I went to giving this person +2 instead of everybody else, because this is my main DPS. That's right. That was the reason. See, I could have, instead of using the bone tooth necklace, gone adding the blue charm, whatever it's called. So that way I have enough stats to activate the white line helm to give everyone +2. But this way, this person has the bone tooth necklace, so this person has +2. Because the damage of this weapon is 3. Actually, I don't think this is even calculated correctly. Now I look at this, it should be 3 + 2 is 5, but then +2 is 7, +1 is 8. So I didn't calculate the necklace upgrade. I only have 6. Actually, the chance of hit should actually be an 8. So let me fix that. That is actually not correct. Alright. Glad I looked at that, because that would have been a wrong calculation. Yeah, that should be an 8. Meaning I reduced the monster's toughness by 8. And that's not even including the +1 strength token. So actually I need to reduce it by 9. So that means I have a 100% chance of hitting the beast, which is great because this beast is probably gonna hit like a truck. And by probably, I mean will hit like a truck. Okay, so this strength is actually 8. Is the accuracy correct? Yeah. I just forgot to add the necklace when I put it on there. Okay, that's correct. Yeah, because everyone has a +1 strength token, which they can also use as additional toward doing a survival action. And then Sona also has a +1 evasion. I had negative tokens, but because I had Song of the Brave, got rid of them. Cool, so that's the general strategy. I want to hit with everybody, but this is the person that's going to hit like a truck. This person I want to get a natural 10, possibly damage. These two possibly damage, but this person main damage, because I want to get those crits in. Definitely want to support with Busmindy, so everyone else gets additional shots. So that way, but yeah, that's the idea. All right, let's do it. So the monster goes first. And the monster, how it's different, has bonus to speed, bonus to damage, more hit points, and also has diabolical. So at the end of its monster's turn, it's always going to stampede in a direction. So that's another reason why I have to get an opportunity to hit it while I'm able to and try to trap it in the corner so it doesn't run too far, because I need everyone to jump on it. All right, so that's the plan. Let's see how we go. Okay, so first one is back kick. It targets someone in the blind spot, which is nobody, or the closest threat. No one's a threat because no one's in line of sight, actually. So then the target's going to graze. Graze. Its movement now is 8. Its toughness is actually 10. Just so you're aware. Graze. What the fuck is it? Here it is. The monster full moves to the closest acanthus plant and ends its turn. Because I always have it look forward, the closest I would say is this one. It's going to go to it in turn. And chomp on it. And it would heal 1 point, but it's at max health. And if there are ever no acanthus plants where it grazes, it just full moves in a straight line. Just like when it normally does it. So basically at the end of everything the monster does, it's going to full move in a straight line. So, it did the basic action. And it did its AI. Now it's going to do diabolical. At the end of the monster's turn, target a random survivor in the trample zone. Which is currently these two. So it is going to trample this direction. But can it target is the problem. I think line of sight, it can actually see this person. So it would full move. This does not block movement. So I'll see if I can't get the rules right. So I'll move to here. But it can't move any farther unless people, when they get collided... Let me look up collision rules. Because I thought collision, you always have to move the opposite of where it approached you, but I could be wrong. Meaning, what I'm trying to figure out is, does it stop there and people stop here and are knocked back? Or does the monster go one space farther and the two of them are knocked sideways? That's what I'm not sure about. Because I don't believe I've ever had collision in the side of the board before. So Trample says that if the monster collides with a survivor, they suffer damage equal to the monster's level. Salisbury, it collides. If a monster moves through a space occupied by a survivor, they collide and suffers collision. But if it ends its turn on a survivor, collision means you're knocked down. But if it ends its turn ends its movement on a survivor, they collide. The survivor suffers collision and knockback 5. So what I just don't really understand is, does it, if it full moved, it would stop here, so I guess then they would get knocked back sideways, knocked back 5. Let me see if there's an example in the beginning of the book. I'm thinking what it might be is it would stop here on top of them, and then they would both move sideways, 5 spaces. But this one, if that's the rule, it can only move to here. So then what happens to this guy? Okay, I think that's what it is. I think it's... The only thing I need to check is I know if this guy moves this direction, these both would count as being as colliding and are knocked down. But my question is, would they get knocked this direction, or like do you always have to have them go in a different direction that they could possibly go? That's what I'm not sure. I always thought it was the direction that they were hit. They go the opposite direction. So like in this case, they can't get knocked back any farther backwards because they're at the edge of the board. That's what I'm not sure on. So that's what I'm checking right quick. I've just never actually had this problem before with knockback, that the monster didn't have anywhere to go. Situation. I'm trying to see in the monster section of the rulebook if there's just a picture kind of illustrating this. So far I'm not seeing anything. Line of sight, got it. But let's find an example of the knockback collision stuff. Okay, here we go. Monsters may move through spaces occupied by survivors. When they do, they collide. At the end of the monster's movement, the survivor suffers collision. Still doesn't answer my question. When a monster ends their movement on a space occupied by a survivor, they collide. The survivor suffers collision, knocked back directly away from the monster. Oh, okay, here we go. Survivors and monsters cannot move off the showdown board or be knocked off the board. If movement or knockback would cause a survivor or monster to move off the showdown board, instead stop the movement at the board edge. Oh, here we go. If a knockback or monster movement starts at a showdown board edge and would go off it, instead move along the board edge. Okay. I'll show you an example. This is exactly what I was, in case you can't figure out what the hell I was talking about. Well, these two pictures here. If you get knocked back into the board edge, you would follow the blue till you hit the board edge, and you wouldn't do the red, the remaining space. So you go all the way to the board edge and stop. But if a monster goes on top of you when you're on the board edge, instead you go along the board edge. Okay, cool. I mean, it's not cool, but at least now I know what the ruling is. Okay, so this guy would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then is knocked down. And then when a monster collides with a survivor, they suffer damage equal to the monster's level to a random hit location. And then this guy gets knocked this direction and knocked down. And then, if I recall, if a survivor collides with another survivor, they're also knocked down. So this is already starting off pretty bad, because you're starting off in a fucking line, and people are colliding with each other. So this already started off pretty bad. The question is, would any of this have actually happened? Target a random survivor in the trample zone. I mean, they were in the trample zone. It doesn't say anything about scene or threat. I don't know. Like, would that have even happened? That's the thing. Target a random survivor in the trample zone. Which, oh, I'm reading this incorrectly. I think. The trample zone, if I'm looking at it here, is 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Unless it just means any number of spaces. Let me see if I can look this up online. I'm sorry about the delay. I'm just like, I got some new rules, new situations I haven't encountered before. My question here is, yes, I understand he does a full move, but it's only if you're in the trample zone. And typically when it shows you a zone, it shows you exactly what the zone is. So does this mean any number of spaces or orthogonal? Or does it mean just 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and that many side to side? There are arrows too, but it's like, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I originally thought it's anything, but let me make sure that's correct. So many rules. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Diabolical Screaming Antelope. Oh. Oh. You know what? He doesn't do it. What I just read was, it says if you don't do the actions that it wants to do, instead it does graze, and that's the end of its turn. So actually, don't do diabolical. Diabolical would be if it did its action and not an instinct. So actually, it doesn't do it at all, according to the FAQ. That is good to know, and also a lifesaver. Good to know. But at least now I know how I do if I'm hit on the edge of the board. Okay, so we're actually okay. So that was the monster's turn. He did an instinct, so that means he doesn't do diabolical. Because it says here, well, that's what it says, so that's how we're going to do it. Which makes sense, because there's no line of sight. So what would it be charging anyway? It doesn't even know that we're there. There's no line of sight. Okay, so that's our turn. Great. We dodged that horrible possibility. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still too far away, but if I dash, I can get in range to do some attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I dash, same thing. These people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. If everyone dashed, we can get in range to hit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this person can fire an arrow. This person can run over here. This person can be behind, and this person can come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? If I have everybody dash, I can get in range to attack. I just don't want people right up next to it, so maybe not everybody does that. Okay, so who has the person? This person can be orthogonal, can shoot sideways. So I think that's the trick. We'll have one run this way, one run this way, one run over here, and one be at an angle. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So we'll have bow person probably go first. That way, can get Boss Mindy activated. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This person can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, the problem is, do I want to get close enough so 2 people get bonuses, or do I want to shoot my bow? I think it's better to give +1 to 2 different people. But it kind of doesn't matter, because like we shoot the bow, you roll 2 dice, and I'll give +1 speed to 2 different people. I guess you could argue about the hammer, it'd get 1 more damage twice, so I suppose. So what I could do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, this fucking thing, I think I'm in the way. Unless the person can go around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that space is occupied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it still works. I can do it. Okay, so I'm going to have this person dash and move to here. And we'll spend a survival to run. But this person with rawhide, so I can see if I get it back. It's a 1. I do not. So I go from 8 to 7. And because I dashed and I have a bow, it's cumbersome. I can't do anything else. So that's the end of the turn. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I could do rawhide vest. I could do the headband because that's an action. We'll do that. Just because I can. Okay, we got Showdown and Buck. Buck is a mood that he'll attack people in its blind spot. Showdowns means he'll eat all of the acanthus plants. And Buck just means he'll hit someone in his blind spot, but just make sure you're not in the blind spot, it doesn't matter. So I think I'll do Showdown first, because if Buck comes up, if I do 1 damage, I'll get rid of Showdown. If Buck comes up, I kind of don't care. Okay, so that's the end of that turn. Next, we're going to move in immediately with Skullcap Hammer, just because I want to, in case the monster moves, make sure I get that -1 to speed. So the person with the hammers is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I looking at it correctly? The hammers. Yes. Okay, so we're going to Mystic Acanthus for now. I wanted to pick it up, but I feel like I really need to do damage when I'm able to do it. Because worst case scenario, let's say I'm able to absorb damage. If I do damage and then it regenerates, then that means I can do that. I have another chance to do more damage to carve more materials, is the thinking there. In case you want to know what the fuck I'm doing. Okay, so this is the person with the hammers. And remember, the person with the hammers can attack twice. And I am orthogonal to Bossamindi, or adjacent. So that means it gets +1 speed in both of its hammers. So it's going to attack with the left hammer first. So its speed is 3 dice, and hits on a 7, but I want to get a 10. Hits on a 7, but I need to get a 10 to the -1 speed. Okay, we got a 6, a 6, and a 6. And they're all misses because I have to hit on a 7. So now I'll try again with the other weapon. We got a 6, an 8, and a 1. So that's 1 hit. And we got Restless Eye, which has first strike. And again, here's an example of what the picture looks like. Don't worry about trying to read it because I'll read it to you. The screaming antelope's massive eyes glisten with human-like fear. If the attacker is insane, cancel all hits and end their attack. Otherwise, the attacker suffers 1 brain damage. So, what this is saying is, if you're not insane, you take 1 damage and can hit. Otherwise, if you're insane, which he is, cancel all hits and end their attack. Okay, so that ends the attack. So I looked into his eyes, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so that did not go great at all. Okay, next up, we have my main DPS. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're orthogonal, and then we're going to lay down the DPS. Oh, and I forgot to spend a dash. I spent a dash on Taken, so it goes from 8 to 7, a survival. And then I spent one on Jer, so I go from 8 to 7. Okay. So for this attack, it's speed 7. Let me make sure the math is right. It's 4 plus 1 from the full set is 5, plus 2 is 7, and then plus additional 1 is 8. So I actually roll 8 dice, which I don't have that many dice. So I'm just going to roll 4 twice. That's what I'm going to do. And this hits on a 6. So we got 2 hits. We got 2 8s. And then I roll 4 more dice, which I have. We got a 2, a 5, a 5, and a 5. And what did I say? It hits on a 6. So that's only 2 hits. Okay. So that's 2 hits. So we got Restless Flank and Ferocious Spasm. And both have reflexes. One of them is a Zone of Death. And this one doesn't have a crit, so that happens regardless. But this one I can cancel if I do a crit. So I'll do it in this order. Alright, so to hit, let's see. The monster's toughness is a 10. To wound, I have 6 plus 1 is a 7. 10 minus 7 is a 3. So that means I wound on a 3, but I also have luck 4. So I wound on a 3, and I crit on a 6. Okay, I rolled a 9, so that's a critical hit. So that means it cancels the reflex. So that's 1 wound. I think I did this wrong. Yes. So that's 1 wound. And then the critical is gain 1 Screaming Antelope resource. Awesome. We got a beast steak. All right, next up we got Ferocious Spasm. We rolled a 9. That's another critical hit, but there's no crit. So that means there's no like automatic hit. So I rolled a 9 plus 6, so that is a hit. So I get another wound. But then there's a reflex. The reflex, this one says, the Screaming Antelope frantically attacks everything around it in its zone of death. 1 at a time, target each survivor in the zone of death and perform a basic action. So zone of death, right now, it's just these 2. But he does a basic action. But he won't charge, because he only charges at the end of his turn. But he will attack both, which could hurt. So basic action is speed 2, accuracy 2, damage 1. But because we have these bonuses, he'll actually attack 3 times and do damage and 2 damage per every attack. Okay, and I'll try not to forget that. It's highly likely I will, because just so many things to remember, but... Okay, so it's speed 3. And I'll keep track who attacks. So first he's going to attack the person that is attacking him. It makes sense. So I'll do that one first. And I know the game doesn't say you necessarily turn to attack. It doesn't make sense, so I'm going to do that anyway. Okay, so what is the hit on? It's attacking Jer, who has no evasion, and its accuracy is a 2+. So it's 3 hits. Chest, foot, and foot. That's going to be 2 damage per attack. Jer, though, only has only ability to dodge once. So we're going to take 2 damage to chest. So that goes to 1. And then we'll take 2 damage to foot. It says legs, but it looks like a foot. And then we'll dodge the other one. So 7 to 6. Okay? And then it's going to attack, and that's the end of his attack. And then he's going to attack the other person. Who is the person with the clubs. Person with the clubs has evasion 3, so that means it'll hit on a 5. We got a 10, a 4, and a 2, so that's only 1 hit to the head, which would be 2 damage. So I think I'm going to save survival and just take it. So go from 5 to 3. Okay. So now we have 1 more person that can go, but we're doing some damage, which is great. I wished for we did a lot more damage, but you know, go do what you can do. That's one of the good things if I upgrade these guitars. It's a little bit easier because like the numbers are really close. I was off by 1, right? All right, so we want to go with Oko. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can do that. Now I can go 1 more time in the blind spot, but I know the monster kicks, so that's probably a bad idea. So I'll stay 1 away. And I will be spinning a dodge. Jesus Christ. A dash to get up there. So it goes from 8 to 7. Okay, so this attack profile, it's 3 dice. And I hit on a 3. I got a 10 and a 2, and I have 2 2s. Wow, that's really fantastic. So I got 1 hit. And I got Restless Shoulder, which something happens if he wounds. But if I crit, I can cancel it. My luck is 0, so I have to roll natural 10 to crit. But my wound is really high. So it's an 8 plus 1 is a 9. 10 minus 9 is a 1. So if I roll the dice at all, it's a guaranteed wound. So I'm just rolling to see if I crit. Guaranteed wound. Because toughness is a 10. We got a 1, but it's fine because toughness is a 10. So we needed a 1. That's still enough. So we did get a wound, so it's another wound. And then he's got a wound reaction. Your blow clips the screaming antelope's shoulder and it jumps back. Turn to face the attacker. Then turn to face the attacker. Then without turning, move the monster 1 space directly away from attacker. And then cancel hits now out of range. So now it moves 1 space back, which then does knockback and collision. So this guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards. And then is knocked back because it was collision. And then takes 2 damage to random place because of trample. 2 damage to the chest. Two damage to the chest, and that was Talkin. 2 to chest. So it goes from 4 to 2. Okay, so didn't go fantastic, but we did do damage, so that's great. We actually already did 3 damage, so that's something. That's great. I just got to make sure now that everyone's in range to get in better position, because this scenario, the closest people be here, that means he's going to hit 2 people, is really bad. And this person's knocked down, which is bad for the antelope because it has some advantages and some attacks if someone's on the ground. But I did 3 damage. His total hit points is 16 because he got 15 AI cards. So we did some damage. It's just we just got to amp it up. I had a lot of really bad rolls. I mean, I'm missing on accuracy of a 3 for fuck's sake. I mean, come on. Anywho, we did some damage. We did get a resource, so we're doing something. All right, so now it's the monster's turn. Make sure I'm not missing something, which is entirely possible. I don't think so. Reset these. Okay, so the AI card next is Showdown. Which is funny, because I saw Showdown earlier that we got rid of, so. There are acanthus plants, so it's going to full move the Screaming Antelope to the closest acanthus plant. So the closest one, fortunately, isn't this direction or this direction, it's this way. So it's going to go, I'll say turn, and then do this. So it eats this, so it heals 1. So one of these wounds come back. And I believe it's placed at the bottom of the deck. I don't place it here in this card because I knew it would reveal what it is. So I believe that's how it's played. Oh, archive the terrain and perform a heal of 1d5. Oh, it's not just 1. So it heals 2. So it heals 2 hit points. I don't know why. I was wondering why it felt a little bigger than it was. Okay, so I did 3 damage and it just healed 2. But it didn't attack us, so it's not entirely bad. And then place Showdown on top of the monster AI deck instead of discarding it. So I'll keep chowing down. Okay. But if I get rid of Showdown, I can get rid of it, obviously. Okay, so now it's the end of the monster's turn, but now it does, because it didn't do an instinct, it does diabolical. So anyone is in its path, yes, this person. At the end of the monster's turn, target a random survivor in the trample zone. Full move through the target and past the survivor. If there's no target, full move forward. So it's going to, its movement is a 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to move all the way through here. And it will be collision, but no knockback, because it doesn't end on top of the person. So he's gonna get knocked down, but not knocked backwards. This will actually be 2 tokens. Okay, and then takes 2 damage to the waist. So let me check on the timing of doing dodge, because I want to see, like, could I dodge that move? I wonder. I don't know. Or do you only dodge attacks and not traits? No, you can only dodge an attack. You can't dodge a reaction. It's dodging when there's an attack, and that's not an attack. Okay, so it's 2 damage, where I say the waist. So it goes from, waist goes to 2 to 0. Okay, so now it's the end of the monster's turn, now it's our turn. So this person's still knocked down, because that was during the monster's turn. This is during our turn, so he comes back up. Okay. So unfortunately some people are far away, but at least now the monster's in the corner. So I could dash forward to hit, and I'm thinking we'll do that to try to do damage while I'm able to do damage. As much as I've used before about having someone eat everything and then get into position, which I could still do, I would rather just kill the monster as fast as possible now while it's in the corner. So let's see what I want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, barely too far away. I can also go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just trying to see if I can get in range to do the bonus, but maybe I should just have the person just fire its bows. I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I could just help out him, who has very good chance of hitting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that would be a full move, and then I could do that whole bashing stuff and bonus to the strength and everything. I mean, not like I need bonus to strength. What I need is actually just to hit the monster. But that's interesting. I like it. I like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would still be in range too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that's very interesting. That means I have 2 different people that can activate their abilities. Not that it matters with this guy, but interesting. Yes. You know what? I think I want to do the bonus to him instead because he's got a better chance. So I think I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the corner. Oh, but he's knocked down. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Right. Knocked down. Yes. Right. Forgot. Great. Yes. Okay, so that's not even a thing then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dash. And then I'll use slam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll do skewer. Okay. So we'll move to here. Spin a who is that? Oko. So it goes 7, 6. And then the monster gets moved 1 this direction. And then I can move 1 to for free. But let me see if I want to. Okay. So I'm going to move. You know what? I don't think I'm going to skewer because I add so much to strength, doesn't even matter. And I don't want to be behind the monster because it might kick. So, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'll just slam it. Anything else that happens with slam? Let me see. Well, it still gets -1 toughness. I'm just not going to skewer because I don't want it, because I'll be in the butt of the monster, which is bad. So it still gets -1 toughness. I'm just looking for that token. So it gets -1 toughness, regardless, for the remainder of the round. And now I'll attack. Thoop. Okay, so the spear is... speed 3, hits on a 3. And if I get a perfect hit, stuff procs. Okay. I don't know, I keep getting 2s. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I got 2 7s, that's 2 hits. Restless Ear and Restless Tiny Hands. Both I can crit. One has a failure condition, so I'll do the ear first. So to wound, because I add +9 and its toughness is a 10, it's an automatic wound, because all I have to do is roll a 1. And the crit is a 10. So I'm just rolling to see if I crit. Got a 3, so I don't, but that is 1 wound. And no crit, but there's no reaction. And the next one is a 6, no crit, but it is a wound. And something happens with if you fail, but I have 0% chance of failure. Okay. That's the end of that turn. That was good. Got some more hits. Back to where we were, three damage. Then we just got to try to land some more damage. And I also want to make sure, try to get the monster, if it does something, to turn this direction, because I don't want two people to get rammed. That's the other thing. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is great. So I'm in range and don't have to dash, which is awesome. Okay, so this is attacking with the guitars, which is speed 7. In this case, I do have 7 dice. Okay, so what do we got? We did get a natural 10, but I have no natural 10 stuff. But it's cool that I got it. All right, so I hit on a 6. So I got 5 hits, it looks like. 5 hits. Cool. Hopefully none of these are traps. That would be sad face. Whew, God, I always hate it when I draw so many cards at once. I'd rather have a lot of attacks than one attack with a lot of dice. Ugh. Okay, so we got 5 cards. We got Palette, Giant Teeth, Restless Rump, Restless Inner Thigh, and Restless Shank. Okay. Super dense just means if it's frail. Palette, possibly. Reflex will full move, so I want that toward the back. Wound, that's really good regardless, so I'll put that in the front. And this one, you can get kicked, back kicked, and suffer damage. I think I'd rather have the monster run away than do damage, so I think I'll do it in this order. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm going from left to right. Okay, so again, this is using the guitars. So the strength of this weapon, similar, is an 8, because I got 3, 4, 5, and then +1, 6, plus Monster Tooth, 8, +1. My strength token is 9, so that means all I have to do is roll 1, so it's a guaranteed. All of these are guaranteed wounds. But if I crit, then I cancel the reaction. And my crit chance is my luck is a 4, so if I roll a 6 or better, I crit. So that's a 50% chance. So a 6 or better. So that's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the Restless Inner Thigh. So guaranteed wounds, I'm just rolling for the crits. Okay. 9. So that's a crit. So that's 1 wound. And then the critical wound happens. So regardless, because I wounded, the Screaming Antelope does get a -1 movement token. But that's the wound reaction. So the critical wound actually cancels the wound. So I would say I actually don't get that token. But with the critical wound, it's persistent injury, degenerating wound. The monster's injury worsens as it moves. Whenever the Screaming Antelope moves, it suffers an additional wound. Wow, that's why, because it's way better. So that means now, whenever the monster moves at any time, it gets 1 wound. Wow, that is... But it's discarded at the end of the next round. But wow, that's awesome. It's like bonus damage. That is fantastic. That's awesome. So this stays to the end of the next round. So I'll do one of these tokens so I remember. So really, when it's my... Oh, till the end of the next round. Wow. That's actually 3 turns. Wow, that's awesome. Wow. Okay. Next is, I still got 4 more to go. Giant Teeth, which is super dense. That just means I can't use frail weapons. I'm not using a frail weapon. I rolled a 9, so that's a critical hit. So that's a 1 wound. And then gain 1 Screaming Antelope resource. We got Muscly Gums. Next up, we got the Palette. We got a 5, which I believe is not a crit because I need a 6 or better. So that's a miss on the crit, but we did wound. And because I wounded, it won't do its failure condition. Oh, I forgot, he's got -1 toughness. So if I rolled a 0, it'd get hit in this case. So I didn't fail. I did wound. Next, we got Restless Rump, which has a reflex, so this one I do want to crit. I rolled an 8, which is a critical hit. So that's another wound. And then I canceled the reaction and didn't get a Screaming Antelope resource. Got a pelt. And the last one, again, I want to crit just so he doesn't do his reaction. Restless Shank. I got an 8, which I did. It's a critical hit. So I got another wound. And then I get a Screaming Antelope resource in addition to other stuff that it says. Large Flat Tooth, awesome. And then it says, your attack wrecks one of the monster's legs. If insane, which Jer is, you may spend 5 survival to treasure this moment forever and gain +1 permanent movement. That's really awesome, but if I spend 5 survival, I'll only be at 1 survival, and he still has a lot of hit points left. So, I mean, we did good, but he's still got a lot left, so that is going to be a no. Cool. So how much damage did we do so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We did 8 damage, and he's got 16 hit points, so he's half dead. We're doing good. We're actually doing really good. Really, really good. All right. Lastly, I have the person with the hammers. I just want to try to stun him, really, just so he gets -1 speed. Is the goal here. If I do some damage, great, but I really want to just daze the monster. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And so that was doing a dash. So that's 1 survival. So I go from something to something. 7 to 6. And then his attack, he attacks multiple times. Speed 2. Okay, first one. I got a 2 and a 1, so it's, man, such bad rolls. So that's a total miss. Then I'll do my second chance. Does any of these people have proficiency in anything? Oko does, so Oko is going to get a proficiency level. And so is Jer. They both hit. I mean, wounded. 2 and a natural 10. Yes, that's what I needed. So that's only 1 hit, but he gets a -1 speed token. I'm just going to track as a separate token just so I know that there are 2 different abilities going on. Got any speeds here? Speed. Okay, I can't find one. Jesus Christ. Okay, so he's got +1 speed and -1 speed, so he's got no speed bonus. Awesome. All right, so did he have anything else? No. All right, so that was one hit. Which was Giant Mouth, which has a reflex. All right. So the wound, strength is 5, plus 1 strength is a 6. So 10 minus 6 is a 4, but then it's got minus 1 toughness, so it's a 3. So I wound on a 3, and I crit on a 9. Wound on 3, crit on 9. We got an 8. So what does that mean? That means it's a wound. That's 1 wound, but he still does reflex. Reflex. If attacking with a melee weapon, and the wound for this location is a 1 or 2, I rolled an 8. The monster consumes your weapon. Archive the gear, blah, 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 blah. None of that happened. Okay. All right. We're doing good, doing good. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AI cards left. We're doing really good. All right, so that's the end of our turn. Now it's the monster's turn. All right. We have Stomp and Snort. So he targets a random survivor in range. Everybody's in range. So we're going to roll for everybody. So I'll just roll numbers for everybody, and whoever has the highest number will be the target, we'll say. So 2, 7, 8, and a 9. So he's going to target this person. So he's going to turn. Intimidate target. The screaming antelope begins to stomp and snort excitedly. A gargled moan sounds from its undermouth. Turn the face target and roll 1d10. Got a 4. On a result of 4+, the target suffers 1 brain damage per monster level and is knocked down. And then other stuff happens. So he suffers 2 brain damage, first of all. So it goes from 8 to 6. Okay. And then knocked down. And then if the target is insane, they suffer knockback 5. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now the monster is going to do Diabolical. At the end of monster's turn, target a random survivor in the trample zone. So currently everyone's in the trample zone, so that means we'll have to roll to see which direction it goes. I'm assuming by reading this, the fact that it's not just colored blue, but it's a triangle, that's anything in those aisles, which is probably correct. Okay. That's cocked. It's 1, 7. I don't care if the dice rolls on top of something, but if it rolls and it actually is cocked, then obviously it's a reroll. But if it goes on top of something, it's still valid. That's how I do it. Okay. I was hoping to go one of these directions, but unfortunately it's going to go this direction. So it's going toward Oko. Okay, so what does it say? Full move through the target. Move the monster through and past the survivor. If there's no target, full move forward. When the monster collides with the survivor, they suffer damage equal to the monster's level to random hit location. So it's going to go, and its movement is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to move to here, a full run. And then it collides. So this person's already knocked down. This person's newly knocked down. And then also, because he moved, he takes a wound because of the persistent injury degenerating wound until the end of the survivor's turn. So he does take additional wound because he moved. And then both these people, because they would suffer collision, both get 2 damage to random places. This person just isn't newly knocked down because already knocked down, but still gets trampled. So we got chest and chest. So 2 damage to chest for both. So 2 to chest for the bow person is heavy damage, but is already knocked down. And then 2 to Oko is goes from 4 to 2. And the days, it says, last until the end of the monster's turn. All right, so now it's the end of the monster's turn, so the toughness goes away, the speed goes away. But that was good. He gets back up, Kihu just ran over, and these people are newly knocked down. And are still knocked down. Okay. All right, I'm just going to get a quick, take 30 seconds, get some sip cap. 1 sec. We're doing good. It's got to seal the deal. We're doing good. Doing good. It's got to seal the deal. Doing good. The thing that's interesting here is if I can get the monster to move at all as a reaction, it will take an additional wound. Because every time the monster moves, it takes a wound. Not turning, but moving to another space. So if he moves for any reason as a reaction, he's going to be taking additional wounds. So like if I draw that trap card, he will take a wound, which is awesome. It's not discarded until the end of this round. So after the survivors do all of their turn. So we'll see. All right, so now it's us. I have 2 people knocked down, but I can do Rawhide Drum to pick everybody up as a survival action. For Encourage. So I think I'm going to do that, because I need everyone to get in there and just fucking bust a nut in this guy's face. So yeah, then I'll just have him go first because I want to pick everybody up. So I'll have Archer go first, and he's going to spend a survival to encourage everybody. So he's going to go from... Oh, but I can see if I did it for free. Which I did. Haha, awesome. Everyone just got it for free. That is so fucking awesome. God damn. Amazing. Because the Rawhide set, I have 50% chance to do a survival action for free. Cool. Party's good to go. Alright. But I have to complete his turn because he did that first. So now he's got to do his moves and other shit. I could also just attack with the bow right there. Because I could attack with the bow and then have someone move in front of him and attack and still get the orthogonal bonus, technically. Yeah. Same with this dude. If I'm here, orthogonal. Yep, that's actually a good idea. So this person, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I might as well do this person first afterwards. All right, so I'm just gonna sit there and shoot my bow because it's cumbersome. Okay, so that is speed 2, and I hit on a 6. And stuff happens though if I get a crit, I believe. Yeah. 2 and a 2, so that's a total miss. I'm rolling a lot of shitty rolls. That's it. But I'm doing good. But man, some shitty rolls. So at least we'll still contribute by people coming in. Okay, so I think next I want to do people that give an advantage to wounding. So I think I want to do actually the spear next. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm orthogonal, and I have range 2, so I can attack from that far away. Awesome. All right, so we're attacking with the spear, which is speed 3 plus 1 is speed 4. And it hits on a 3. So I got 2 3s, a 9, and a 4, so that's 4 hits. God, we lucked out. No trap card left. Oh my God, we're lucky. So fucking lucky. Oh my God. So we got Delicate Inverted Knee, Restless Chest, Restless Hoof, and Giant Tongue. His crit chance is bad, unfortunately. So gotta be careful on what the wound stuff says. This one says full move, so that's bad. But if you full move, that's free wound also. This one's really bad, so that's going to be in the back. This one says -2 to wound this location. Okay, so I'll do it in this order. Okay. Alright, so the wound, it's an 8 plus 1 is 9, means if I roll any number, it's a wound. So it's all these are guaranteed wounds, but if I roll a 10, it's a crit. That's a 3, so that's a wound. And nothing else happens. On the Delicate Inverted Knee. Next, I'm rolling for the Giant Tongue. -2 to wound, so again, it's a guaranteed wound. That is a 3. So that's another wound. And then there's a wound reaction. Blood and spittle erupt from the Screaming Antelope's wounded undermaw. If the wound result is even, suffer 1 brain damage. If the wound result is odd, gain 1 insanity. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a 3. I have a 3 here, so I'll just say it's a 3. I don't remember. If the wound result is even, suffer 1 brain damage. If the wound result is odd, gain 1 insanity. So I'll say gains 1 insanity. So it goes from 4 to 5. And actually, I played Oko wrong because when he took damage, he was insane, so it should have gone to brain. So that means he should be at 3. Because all the damage goes to the brain first. So he actually has full body damage. Full body armor. I forgot he was immortal, and he was barely insane. So what's his number right now? I can't read. It's a 3. So he's still insane. So any damage will go to his insanity first. Okay. Then next, we have the Restless Chest. We rolled a 9, almost a crit. Almost. Which is another wound. And then there's a wound reaction. Turn the Screaming Antelope to face the attacker and full move forward in a straight line. So it's going to full move forward in a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to move all the way here. Which means I can't do any more moves because I'm out of range. Which is fine because he moved, he takes another wound anyway. For free. Boom. And then both these people, though, are now took collision. So they're both knocked down. But that was the end of their turns anyway. And then they also both take collision damage because of trample. So we got a chest and a chest. So they both take 2 damage to the chest. So Oko takes 2 to chest, but he's insane. So it goes to 1 insanity. Now he'll take damage as normal. Whereas the bow person might be in a situation. Oh no, because the deal damage was to waste. Wow, so lucky. So 2 to chest, so heavy damage to chest. So it's knocked down, but still kicking. Already knocked down anyway, so who cares? Cool. Alright, so currently the monster only has 2 hit points left. Only 1 AI card remains. 1 left. So if we could seal the deal, we won't get any more return fire. And then, like I said, because of my house rule, I could give my party the chance to do 1 roll on every one of these items. Because I just think that's stupid that while you're in the showdown, you can't spend another round to go pick up everything. It just, story-wise, doesn't make any sense. It's pretty stupid. It's right there. So anyway, that's my house rule. Which, now I think about it, I don't know if I add that to my settlement, because I wanted to have all the house rules written down, so later if people ask how I played, I could say everything. Let me see what that's on here. Oh, yep, it's on here. Loot, terrain, and showdown chance. Yep, it is. Cool. All right, so now I have 2 people left that can attack. Let's do this. Ironically, he moved right back in the range where everybody was. That was pretty cool. All right, so I might as well just have... well, shit. Might as well go for the crits, right? So let's have Jared get in there. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm right there. So I'll just swing in. This is actually a really fortuitous situation because I can actually attack and then move out of the way. I can get into like a different lane altogether, which is cool. But the other thing I can do is I can spend 1 survival, move backwards, so I can pounce forward, and then pouncing, I'd get a bonus to I'd add 1 to strength and 1 to accuracy. So shit, let's do that. Since I have the opportunity, let's kill it right now. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 as a dash, and then I'm going to pounce forward. So Jared's going to spend 1 survival, 6 to 5, and then we're going to actually do a pounce. So far, I've done 1 slam, but no skewer with Screaming Antelope armor, but with the cat armor, I'm going to do a pounce. So that means I get a bonus 1 to accuracy and a bonus 1 strength, which is great because that means I can hit on a 5 instead of a 6. Okay, so I'm rolling 7 dice. 7 dice, and I hit on a 5. All right, so we did get a natural 10. Do I have anything for that? No. Okay, let's see here. So I hit on a 5. So I got 2 natural 10, so I got boom, 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 boom. So I got 5 hits. One of them is probably going to be a trap. Probably. Yeah, the first one's a trap. Alright, so that means all of his hits are canceled, but that means then also got rid of the trap. And if he moves, that means he also takes 1 damage. Remember, whenever he moves, he takes 1 damage. Let's make sure that's correct. The monster's injury worsens as it moves. Whenever the Screaming Antelope moves, it suffers an additional wound. So because it triggered the trap, it's going to wound the monster. Haha, awesome. But everything else, unfortunately, was canceled. So this whole deck has to be reshuffled. Alright, so the attacker is doomed, so can't spend survival. All survivors adjacent to the monster suffer 2 brain damage per monster level. The only one adjacent is Jer. So he takes 4 brain damage. So it goes from 13 to 9. And then knock back 5 and knock down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The monster lands on its belly and begins to slide on its teeth. Turn the monster directly away from the attacker. Directly away from the attacker. And full move forward in a straight line. On collision, non-death survivors gain 1 random disorder in addition to normal collision rules. So this person is going to be collided and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And knock down. I'm running out of counters. And suffers trample damage. 2 damage to chest. And gets a random disorder. And then I shuffle this deck. So 2 to chest for Taken. That goes to 0 on armor. And then also gets a random disorder. Which I have right here. So Taken gets coprolalia. You have compulsive tics in the form of sporadic muttering, cursing, whimpering, and screaming. All your gear is noisy. You're always a threat unless you're knocked down, even if the effect is otherwise. So that means even if this person hides, he's still a threat. So I'll add it later, but boom. So right now everyone's, oh, and then the monster takes an additional wound because he moved. So now he only has one hit point left and no AI cards at all. But now we shuffle the hit deck, but that's the end of her turn because everybody is knocked down. And since it's now going to be the end of the round, Restless Inner Thigh also goes away. But it's not discarded because it's at the end of the round, and this is reshuffled first. But what the good news is we've obliterated the Screaming Antelope's AI deck. He only has 1 hit point left. That means he has to just only do basic actions. So we did it. We did good. We just have to do 1 damage, which I really want it to be a crit that farms some more resources, but we did good. So far we've gotten 6 resources out of this Lanternier. 1 from the hunt and 5 from the 2. Well, how did I get the pelt? I don't remember. May have been at the very beginning. All right, so I'm just shuffling the hit deck. But we did good. I knew this fight would be hard, but I did stuff the metagate and hit like a truck, and we, I just knew because before I was hitting so hard that even though he could do something to me, the odds of him doing something bad in the same place to the same person is unlikely. And so far that's held true. But we did get close because some people got really blasted with insanity and some people took a lot of damage. Like a couple people that was close. Like Oko has only one insanity. Sona has heavy damage to the chest and the waist. Alright, so we got a new hit deck, and now it's the monster's turn. So that means every time we switch turns, these go away, so at the end of the monster's turn, everybody will get back up, because everyone's knocked down. And you can't get re-knocked down. And if you get knocked down, you come back up at the end of the monster's next turn, which would be their next turn. Alright, so he's got no AI cards. That means he just does a basic action. The closest knockdown survivor in range, which would be Talkin. So it's going to move forward. He doesn't have the bleed effect anymore. It does only till the end of the last round. So he has speed 3, accuracy 2, damage is 2. And that's including the modifiers. But Talkin does have decent evasion. He's got evasion 2. So it's going to hit on a 4+. I'm rolling 3 dice. Hits on a 4+, so that's 1 miss. So that's 2 hits. So that's 2 damage to foot and the head. So we'll take the 2 damage to the foot, 4-2, and then the head, we will spend a survival and go from 6 to 5. Right, so we stop the attack, but now he's going to do his trample. I mean his diabolical. So it's going to... Who's in his path? The only person in the path of his diabolical is Talkin. So it's going to full move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then he's already knocked down, so he doesn't get re-knocked down, but he does get trampled. So that's 2 damage to foot. So he goes from 2 to 0 on the foot. But everyone's still kicking. Now it's our turn. Everybody gets back up. I just gotta do 1 fucking damage to it. And the problem here is, since no one's knocked down, that means it's going to go graze and heal hit points. So it's like, it just needs to die. Needs to die. Needs to die. So everyone needs to spend dash if possible. Just get in there and fucking kill him. So the first one I'm going to do is the bow, just because I can do it at a weird angle. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I believe, what's my range? The range of the weapon is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is in range. So I will fire from there. I'll spin a dash and see if I spin it for free, which I did. Awesome. Okay, so he's going to attack. I mean, she's going to attack, sorry. So it's 2 dice, hits on a 6. That's 1 hit. Giant teeth, super dense. Meaning if I use something that's frail, which I'm not. Okay, so the wound, my strength is a 5 plus 1 is a 6. 10 minus 6 is a 4. So I wound on a 4 and crit on a 10. This could be it. Wound on a 4, crit on a 10. We just got a fucking natural lantern. Boom! It's like it got fucking that arrow in the fucking eyeball. Yeah. Natural lantern. So the monster is fucking dead, and I get a Screaming Antelope resource. Fuck yes. Good job. With the arrow. Fucking cool. We did it. Yes! Killed a level 2. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Alright, so now, before I go to the aftermath, I'm going to give everybody a chance to pick up all this stuff. Just because, again, the house rule, you could game the system and avoid the monster and pick stuff up, and that's just stupid. Or it's stupid that you come all the way out here, you can spend any number of rounds, but you can't spend another 2 rounds just to pick up stuff, and that's why I'm doing it. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to have people that can pick up Acanthus. And I'm going to have, let's see here. And I'll have Sona, who has the bow, to try to pick up the bug. That's all I'll do. Alright, so I'll do the bug first. Which is something. Yeah. So let's roll. That's a 5. Gain 1 random vermin resource. And we got Cyclops Fly. Cool. Okay, next I'm going to have this guy go ahead and pick up 3, and the other person will pick up 3. And then he gets +2 to his roll for the Acanthus. That's a 1, so that's a 3. Find nothing. Next one is a 3 + 2 is a 5. Gain 1 survival. It goes from a 5 to a 6. And then we'll go again. It's a 2 + 2 is a 4. Archive, find nothing. Okay, next we'll have Oko. Try it this one. Natural Lantern. So that's 1 Acanthus. What happened that so far away? Man, we did it. We killed a level 2. Fuck yeah. Great strategy, great equipment. Did good. We done good. Got an Acanthus. Try out the next one. Three is find nothing. And then the last one. And you know what? The entire time I forgot to do monster controller. Whatever. To be honest, it's a cool way you can try to give someone one more insanity, but it is upkeep for the sake of upkeep, so whatever. Natural Lantern, so that's another Acanthus. Cool. We got a lot of stuff, and we still haven't done the rewards section yet. Good job, guys. Team Pro, Team Pro. Alright, so now we go to the Aftermath. Let's see what happens. I know what's going to happen after the Aftermath is make some fucking dinner. Alright. So, again, here's a picture of Screaming Antelope. Oh, whatever it sounds like. Alright. Aftermath. We killed a level 2+. So everybody gets 2 hunt experience. First of all. Instead of 1. So Oko gets 2, so he's 1 away from retirement. But he does get age 4, so we'll definitely do that. I'll do this to indicate an age. Jer gets 2. Sona gets 2, so did reach age 1. and Talkin gets 2, so it does reach age 1. So now before I proceed further, I'll do the ages. I'll do stuff in order so I don't forget. Again, I do milestones and death count updates when it happens immediately, so I don't forget. And because it's more fun. Part of my custom KDM. Age 107. And this is the first time I've had someone reach age 4, I believe. Unless I had someone during the Phoenix encounter, which is possible. So age. Alright. So, we'll do age 4 yet. First, Lucky Elder. Age is the rarest resource of all. Roll in the table below. So roll 2 dice for Oko. Got a 9 and 5, which is 14. Gain 1 permanent luck. So it goes to luck 1. Okay. Next we do age 1 on Talkin. Let's say Tarkin. This isn't StarCraft, God. This isn't Star Wars. So he gains a weapon proficiency first. So what weapon proficiency do I want him to do? Obviously club, he earned it. Yeah, I would go clubbing. Fuck yeah. Go clubbing. Go clubbing. I'm talking loud, my cat's getting excited, like, who are you talking? It's you. You're a good boy. My cat's name is Zaire. He is a good boy. Because so we'll do club. And then, oh, it's a kitty. You are a good kitty. Yes, you are. Now, everybody knows you're a good kitty. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Came up to say hello. Please. Did I roll dice? No. You are a good kitty. Yes, you are. I checked, and you are indeed a good kitty. Okay, so now I roll 2 dice to see what Elsie gets. 7 of 7 is a 14, which is gain 1 random fighting arts. So let me go pick that up. Should have brought that over here as well. He gets Mighty Strike on a perfect hit plus 2 strength. Unless he already has Mighty Strike. Nope. Wait. No. So Mighty Strike. And that's on PH plus 2 STG attack. Cool, cool. Let's keep that over here. And then he also has Caprolia. Go ahead and write that down too, before I forget. Caprolia, which is always a threat. Okay? So many cards. And then last we got Sona, who's going to be proficient in... Well, fuck, man. If you get the Killing Blow Natural Lantern in the fucking eye or brain, yeah, you can do fucking bow. Fuck yeah, I better believe it. And that actually worked out because she can be at weird angles and shoot her bow while giving people bonuses. That strategy actually worked out really well. Okay, so it gets a bow, and then 7 plus 6 is a 13, which is gain a random fighting art. I just got to shuffle the deck because technically could also get Mighty Strike. God, I'm hungry. But we did good. We did good. I'm gonna eat some tasty antelope flesh. Tasty. We did good. We had people close to death in different ways, but we did good. We mitigated, changed targets, did good. I definitely learned from fighting the hand. It was definitely a great learning encounter, and that's probably the whole point. It's supposed to be a learning encounter. It kind of teaches you how to do more difficult fights to live. Can the same person be wailed on forever? No, you gotta do it as a team. All right, so she gets Orator of Death. Now that sounds cool because she was the Grim Reaper right there. Once per showdown, you may spend an action to have all non-death survivors gain 2 insanity. And when you die, you encourage all survivors with your last words. Meaning you trigger encourage for free. So that's awesome. But she already has 3. So I think I'll get rid of Mighty Strike. Because the odds of her getting a natural 10 when she only rolls 2 dice are really low. But Orator of Death is really good. The fact that I can just, as an action, just give everybody 2 insanity. That's pretty awesome. That's actually so awesome. That'd be cool to actually do in every showdown. Just give everybody a boost. It's pretty cool. Orator of Death. Say once per showdown, all survivors plus 2 insanity as an action. Awesome. And you're still a kitty. You are. You did the best kitty ever. All right. So that was the hunt experience stuff, and then and the age happened because of hunt experience. Now we do weapon proficiency bonuses. Okay. So the 2 that had weapon proficiencies at the time was Oko and Jer. So Oko goes up from 2 to 3, so it does become a specialist, and Jer gets 1 in guitar. And what Oko had was spear. So that means now he's a spear specialist. Which means gains this card, which I'll read to you. When attacking with a spear, if you draw a trap, roll d10. On a 7+, cancel the trap. Discard it, then reshuffle the hit location deck and discard into the hit location deck and draw a new card. So basically, this is like doing the ability of Unshakable without needing Unshakable, is what it is. So if I have him and another person with those abilities, that means I have 2 people that can cancel trap cards, which is pretty cool. All right, boom. All right, so now we've done specialization. We've done weapon stuff. We've done hunt stuff. Hunt experience. We've done weapon specialization. Now, let's see what else we got. Now we do rewards. First thing it says on rewards is when the monster is defeated, the monster does a death wail. So anybody with 20+ experience, 20+ insanity would be affected, but people got blasted with insanity, so no one is even close to 20, so no problem there. And that says for level 2 rewards, 6 basic and 7 screaming antelope. That is amazing. Okay, so let's get some of the shit out of the way so we get to the good shit. Okay, so we get 7 of these and 6 of these, in addition to everything else we've accumulated. 7 antelope and 6 basic. Okay, so we get 7 antelope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's practically the entire deck I've gone through. That is awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got, and I'll show you everything up close. So we got Screaming Brain, a Bladder, a Beefsteak, a Pelt, a Shank Bone, a Shank Bone, and a Shank Bone. And then for basic resources, we get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basic resources, we got Monster Hide, Monster Organ, Monster Hide, question mark, which counts as anything, Monster Hide, Monster Organ. Holy shit, that's a ton of resources. Okay, so let me show you the total loot that we got, and that'll be the end of this stream. We did good. We killed our first level 2. Fan-fucking-tastic. And I know I sound sarcastic. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm super happy because I knew it was in favor to go my way. I just knew that there were ways I could fuck it up and have people die. So. And we didn't go that many turns. Like I think in total it was like 4 rounds or something. So we did good. Because he had a couple reactions that he moved. It probably was just 4 rounds. If you drag out the fight with this guy, you know, it's definitely going to be a wipe. Because then you won't be able to catch up to him, or you won't have the survival to engage him. It's be a losing battle. Because he'll hit you and run away. Hit you, run away. Alright, so let me... And we also got some stats, some specializations, some disorders, some fighting arts. See, total number we got is 1, 2, 3. So the total resources we got from this hunt and showdown was 23 resources. Goddamn. That's awesome. Okay, so let me bring some order to the madness, see what we got for sweet rewards. I'm going to count this as a pelt and put in the front because most likely exactly what I'm going to use it for. Spoiler. Alright, so this is... Wow. We got a lot of shit. Moral of the story. Got a lot of shit. Okay. So this we got in total. We got 1 iron. A wild card that can count as any resource. 1 of 3, I mean. We got a pelt, monster hide, large flat tooth. I'll be sure to do the bonus after I show you the stuff. Shank bone, screaming brain, bladder, muscly gums, beefsteak, monster organ, fresh acanthus, super fresh acanthus, still super fresh, and cyclops fly. Fuck yes. Fuck yeah, man. Alright, so what did the tooth say? A survivor of your choice gains 1 insanity. So because Oko is insanity tank, I'm going to have to go to Oko, so he goes to 2. We did it, man. Fuck yes. That went fucking great. Thanks for watching. Super excited. Down my first level 2 anything. So that was really cool. I just knew, like, getting 23 resources was better than having 1 more survival at this point. Because I already have a ton of survival. And with Red Fist, I'm technically at 9 survival. So it's like, I'm good. Let's just fucking do what we need to make what we need, you know? Awesome. Well, thanks for watching. The next stream is going to be Lantern Year 15, the settlement phase. Again, this is Ismortah, and thanks for watching.